Greetings everyone, Shadowhaunt Joker here, and today, well, I got a surprise for you. Remember I kept talking about Project Nightmare and everything, but I never got around to doing it? Well, Project Nightmare is now a thing, but it's no longer a nightmare. It's insanity. Let's begin. And yes, you'll know what it is when I reveal this egg. We start off with Loogamon. Of course, we're going with the 4 for this deck. You know what it is yet? Alright. Now, that's right. We're going Loogamon. Now, the reason why I chose this deck to be one of my main favorites is because, believe it or not, my nephews helped me pick it out. And I've actually had some good luck with it. It got me into the top 128 a couple of times, so this is definitely one of my favorite decks to use. So, starting off with this, with Loogamon and this. Loogamon is the inherited egg where when a Digimon card with Dark Animal or SOC trait is trashed from your hand, this Digimon may Digivolve into that card. Now here's the thing. It's not once per turn. You can keep doing this. Now, as far as Loogamon, it's start of main. Also, keep in mind, SOC, Dark Animal, X Antibody. Start of main by placing one E.G. Nagasumi underneath from your trash or hand. Under this Digivolution card, you gain a memory. It also has the inherit, when you play a card with Dark Animal or SOC trait, you may gain a memory. Now, you already see where this is going. Stay with me. Next, I'll be running the BT15, but I'm only running 2 of these. Its effect, basically, it has a Digivolution of 1, unless you Digivolve on a SOC, then it costs 0. When attacking, by trashing one card in your hand, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 3,000 or less DP. If the Tamer card with SOC trait is under this Digimon's Digivolution cards, you draw a card. Inherit effect, if your opponent has 1 or more memory, you gain a memory. Now, I'm just saying, with this, I may not use as many of them as I do the other one, because I'm basically going into like a ladder climb. But this does help come in clutch whenever I'm playing up against something like Red Hybrid. It also does help every once in a while against Loogamon. Then, of course, I run 2 Digimon. All turns, opponent can't gain memory except through Tamer effects. And yes, it's not an SOC or Dark Animal, but it still helps you choke the opponent for a little bit. You know, just in case you don't get all your pieces in place and you still have the Gazi, you can hold off their plays to gain yourself the memory that you need back. Now, on to the level 4s. We have 2 Black Digimons, which of course have Rush. It also has Retaliation, so, as you all know, that inherit of Retaliation will help out later on, but sometimes we don't actually get to Digivolve on top of this. If we do, Retaliation. If not, we mainly use it because we can get it back because it is a Dark Animal and we can just attack in. I only run 1 Loogamon of this type. Its Digivolution cost of 3, but if it's an SOC, cost of 2. When Digivolving, when attacking, by trashing 1 card in your hand, this Digimon gains 2,000 DP for the turn. If a Tamer card with SOC traits is in this Digivolutions, draw a card. Then it does the same as its counterpart, where you gain a memory if your opponent has 1 or more at the end of your attack. Now, 2 of this version of Fangmon, BT14, and 1 version of BT8 Fangmon. This one for the Retaliation. And these, because of the on-play or when attacking, return 1 purple Digimon card with the Dark Animal trait in your trash to hand, then trash 1 card from your hand. Remember what gets an effect from trashing. Now, the next will be 2 Tyrannomons from BT15. And of course, Digivolve 3, if it's a level 3 SOC, it costs 2. It has blocker. On play, reveal the top 4 cards of your deck, add 1 Digimon with SOC trait, and 1 such tamer card among them to the hand. Return the rest to the bottom of the deck, and add cards. And if you added cards, you trash 1 card in your hand. See the pattern? See the play? Then, of course, 3 Loogamon and 1 Eismon Scatter Mode. Scatter Mode, you already know the play. On deletion, draw 3, then trash 2. Now, with this one, when attacking, by trashing 1 card in your hand, draw a card. If E.g. Nagasumi is in this Digimon's Digivolution cards, you gain a memory. It also has the inherent, when you play a card with Dark Animal or SOC trait, you gain a memory. Now, see where this is going. And we're going to get to what this E.g. does in a moment. Now we're into the level 5s. I got 2 Solugamons of BT14, but I also have 2 Solugamons of BT16. BT16 recently just came out, so I decided to splash a little bit, see how I want to balance out the flow of the deck. Right now it's 2 and 2. It may go back to being 3 and 1, or these may get 3 and this may get 1. I'll let you decide how you want to do this deck. But for the first one, when Digivolving, you may play 1 level 3 or lower card with Dark Animal or SOC trait from your trash without paying the cost. If E.g. Nagasumi is in Digivolution cards, add 1 level to the effect you may choose. Of this effect, yeah. By trashing 1 card in your hand, gain 1 memory, and that's when you attack. Also, inherit here, when you play a card with Dark Animal or SOC trait, you may unsuspend this Digimon. Sounds pretty balanced to me. Now, before I go into that, I'm going to put Y right there. Now, we have Solugamon BT16. It digivolves into an SOC trait for the cost of 3 instead of its digivolution of 4. When digivolving, by trashing 2 cards in your hand, you may delete one of your opponent's 6,000 DP or lower Digimon. If this effect didn't delete, you may play 1 level 4 or lower SOC trait Digimon from your trash without paying the cost. I wonder who could come out. Just kidding. You already know the main play would be him. Main play. But, as I was saying, when one of your other SOC trait Digimon is deleted, this Digimon with a SOC trait Tamer card in its Digivolution cards may digivolve into Fenrir Loogamon in the trash without paying the cost. Now, end of attack, if your opponent has 1 or more memory, unsuspend this Digimon. Yeah, you're starting to catch on what's going on here. Now, the next cards, I run 3 Hell Loogamons of that type and 1 of the BT16. This one has a end of your turn, delete this Digimon and draw 2. Then you may return 1 Loogamon from trash to hand. On deletion, you may trash up to 3 cards with Dark Animal or SOC traits in your hand. Then, delete one of your opponent's level 3 or lower Digimon. For each card trashed by this effect, you can add a level of effect to this choice. So basically, you can hit a level 6 at max. Now, Hell Loogamon, on the other hand, on this one, it digivolves for 4, but if you have an SOC trait, it's 3. First of all, it has Retaliation. Then, end of your opponent's turn, by deleting this Digimon, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest DP. On deletion, you may play 1 Loogamon or 1 E.g. Nagasumi from your trash without paying the cost. Ah, a clue. Now, which brings us to these Fenrir Loogamons. Now, this one does so much that a lot of people that want to play the deck has already said there's way too much going on, so I probably won't. But let me break it down for you. It costs 4 for Digivolution. When digivolving, you may play one level 4 or lower card with the Dark Animal or SOC trait from your trash without paying the cost. If Iji Nagasumi is in this Digivolution cards, add 2 to the number of cards this effect may play. So instead of just dropping 1, if you have Iji underneath, you can drop 3. When attacking, once per turn by deleting one of your opponent's level 3 or lower Digimon, unsuspend this Digimon. For each of your Digimon, add 1 to the level this effect may choose. And that does include himself. Your turn. The turn-in condition is the opponent having 3 or more memory, meaning they have to have 3 or more. If it's 2, it's still your turn. So, then I run these 2 as backup. Death X, self-explanatory. On play, Digivolving. Digivolve 1 on all your opponent's Digimon, then delete all your opponent's Digimon level 4 or lower. End of the opponent's turn, once per turn, delete all your opponent's Digimon with the lowest play cost. It automatically has that one little effect that we like, though, where when you play this card, reduce the memory cost by 3 for each Digimon and Tamer your opponent has in play. So when you have all those like Loogamon players, or you have those that constantly spam out Rookie Rush, or maybe, heck, a lot of Tamers. Death X says, let's have a little fun on the board. Now, Shine Gray Ruin Mode. When Digivolving on deletion, until the end of your opponent's next turn, all your opponent's Digimon gain -5 DP. So basically, if you can swing that turn and then it is kaput, that's basically 10,000 DP they're not having. Now, end of attack. Delete this Digimon and one of your opponent's Digimon and recovery +1 from the deck. Then, if you have a Tamer in play, hatch 1 Digi-Egg card from your empty space into the breeding area. So basically, he sets you up to have at least something when he leaves. Now, let's go into options before we go to Tamers. First is Missed Memory Boost. Main, trash up to 2 cards from your deck and draw 1. Then delay. Then after you do the whole delay, you can gain 2 memory by trashing this card next turn. Self-explanatory. Security, just place it in the owner's battle area. 1. Calling from the Darkness. Delete one of your Digimon, then return up to 2 purple Digimon cards from your trash to your hand. 2. Jack Raid. On main, for every 10 cards in your trash, gain a memory, and it's a 0. So, hey, we're free playing, right? But, if it's hidden security, you gain 2. I've had so many games where this card was in my security, and my opponent kept hitting them. Now, I'm running 2 of the new card, the Demon Wolf of the Castle of 9 Wolves. On main, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Add 1 card with SOC trait among them to the hand. Return the rest to the bottom of the deck. If this effect added a card, trash 1 card in your hand, then place this card in the battle area. On main, delay. You may play 1 card with the SOC trait from your trash with the play cost reduced by 2. See, I want to use more, but it's one of those things where it's like, if this is too early and I'm not situated enough, it won't help me. But this is a good mid-game card, so I put it at 2. I may bump it up more later, depending on what we get in later sets. You never know. But for now, 3 Wisdom Training. Every deck that has a color runs a training. It doesn't matter which. They always do. You will see every deck profile with a training card, so mine will not be any different. Wisdom Training. Reveal the top 2 cards from your deck. Add 1 purple card among them to hand. Return the rest to the bottom of the deck in any order. So basically just 1 card. Then place this card in the battle area. Main, delay. Now, its other effect is 1 of your Digimon may digivolve into a purple Digimon card in your hand for its Digivolution cost. When you digivolve by this effect, reduce the cost by 2. So basically, this would go from a 4 to a 2. Now, Tamer-wise, we're going to start off with the best purple Tamer, Analog Youth. Yes, the best purple Tamer is also not purple. On play, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Add 1 Digimon card among them to the hand, then trash the remaining cards. Really? I mean, in purple, that's perfect. Now, all turns. When one of your level 5 or higher Digimon with Digivolution cards is deleted, you may suspend this tamer. If you do, gain 1 memory, then hatch 1 Digi-Egg card to an empty space in your breeding area. So basically, suspend, gain 1, hatch, set you up for the next turn. I run 1 Madashita for a memory tamer. Also because, start a turn, set tamer. On play, though, return 1 purple Digimon card or option card from your trash to hand, and the security is play this card without paying the cost. So basically, if they hit my Death X or they hit my Ruin, get that back, or get like a key option card I need back, doesn't matter which. And then, the man, the myth, the legend, EG. Now, security, play this card without paying the cost. Start of your main. If your opponent has a Digimon, gain 1 memory. Main, Mind Link, with one of your Digimon with Dark Animal or SOC trait. Basically, you tuck this underneath. And then it has its inherit effect underneath. All turns, when this Digimon has a Dark Animal or SOC trait, it gains Alliance and Blocker. Basically, what Alliance is, let's say I have Fenrir Loogamon here and Hello Loogamon here. If this is underneath him and I swing, I also will suspend this to gain its DP into that DP, making it 20,000. And it does 2 security checks instead of 1. Yeah, think about that for a second. 20,000, swing, 2 checks. All because of him. But he also gives them blocker. At the end of all turns, either my turn or my opponent, I may play 1 EG Nagasumi from this Digimon's Digivolution cards without paying the cost. Meaning just pull it from underneath and it's back onto the area like a regular tamer. Now, I'm going to show you a couple of combos. So give me 1 second to set up and... Alright, so this is going to be the basis that I want to show. It'll be our turn. Start at 3. We promote. Now, before I go any further, it would be basically the Loogamon onto the field. 3. EG, since our opponent has a Digimon, we gain 1. Loogamon, gain another. Now, as far as it goes with this, the first thing we do, pay the 2, go into Lugar, draw a card. Now, if we want to go any further with that, let's say we would have this on the field. Or, and I'll use this as an example, we'll try Wisdom Training. We'll do this one as the first combo play. Now, Wisdom Training is there. We already paid the 2, drew our card. We already have the EG underneath. Trash the Wisdom. Crack into that, draw a card. We paid 1, use the effect of this. We would get back, we'll say hypothetically, we'll get our blocker. And we'll say we get back like that. What will we trash at that point? Now, at this point, if you want to, you can gain the memory with those, or don't. If we have in hand, we would trash the Fenrir. Fenrir would be, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Get the effect. 1, 2, and I'll say 3. Now, we already gained 1 from that, and gain a second one. Now, this is our board. We could swing with the Black Gatos, of course. We also still get this effect before we do all that swinging. So, we would technically get back one of our purples to later on trash. I'd say the best option to get at this point for SOC I would say that Loogamon would make a good option. Or if you want to trash something and then get something back, I say go for the Soul Luga. Because then with Soul Luga, you can just Digivolve on top. But since we're going to be at this point in memory, we're going to go with our Lugar. Now, you can use him for the fodder for the Fenrir. Fenrir's effect would detonate, unsuspend, this will stay suspended. Then you can go and do it again. Keep in mind, if you want to use these to attack, you can, or use it for the Alliance. That will cover it. That would be 4 checks there, 5 checks. But at the same time, if you're feeling a little lucky, and if you have the actual memory to do it, you can often go for a quick Loogamon, and you can gain to be unsuspended, swing again. That's only if you can keep the memory from going to 3. Sometimes I've actually had it where I was at 0 or I was at 1 when I did all this in one play, in which then I would just play the Loogamon and carry on. Now, for combo 2, however, as I was saying, for combo 2, I would normally go for the analog youth route with the EG. So basically, use the effect, tuck underneath, use the effect, gain 1. Now, I would strictly go straight into a Digivolution of this Lugarmon for 2. Draw the card. Now, with this, I can go either or route. But first I would do the trashing. And I would probably Digivolve into this one for 3. Now, with that being said, if I don't hit anything, I can still play a level 4 lower SOC, right? At that point, my SOC of choice would happen to be the Tyrannomon. You're not paying the cost, but you would still get the effect. And plus you would have a blocker. Now, you would still gain 1, but at the same time, you would also have Analog Youth to cover just in case something goes a little south. Now, in case, let's say, your opponent's got you swamped. We'll say they got, the Rabbits. Or maybe Numemon. Go for the Def X. If it's way too much on board, go for the Def X. If, at this point, and you can't get your Fenrir Lugamons in play, this would always be the best backup. If you can get Fenrir Lugamon and you basically need that extra protection, you got something coming up next turn, but you don't know if you can. Let's say you know good and well, next turn, they're going to hit the highest Digimon you have, but Def X is not here. At that point, the best thing to drop out would definitely be going for the Shine Gray. That way, first of all, it's minus 5,000. They delete that, another minus 5,000. So that whole blanket on their turn would actually help you to recover on your turn. Plus, because of what it is, gain that extra memory. You're not really too worried about getting the EG back if it gets deleted, because if you've done everything right with the Tyranno and you get your EG back, or have a Luga. Luga can get it from trash. So either way, you'd be secure. Now, with that being said, on your turn, if everything's gone and you can build back up, with this Loogamon, you definitely get the memory and go into your board again. Rinse, lather, repeat. Plus with the blocker, take care of any little thing that might happen. Mainly, When I have my blocker out here, I also tend to have Gazi. That way if I'm playing against like Red Hybrid, they have something that says like Atomic Inferno. If I block, they gain memory. Okay, I'm going to block it, but I have Gazi. You're not gaining memory because it's not a tamer. There you go. So, with that being said, this is my deck called Insanity Hounds, aka Loogamon. I'm Shadowhaunt Joker. May luck always be on your side.